Hey guys, welcome to the Chatterbox Chronicles. I'm Josh and this is Sam. We are both Christians who love to talk about random topics, and today we will be covering the Spider-Verse movies. Okay.
With a guest.
With a guest. Oh! With a guest! I forgot about our guest!
Yeah.
We have Lumenux here. He's one of
Hi.
our online friends, and we're very excited to have him because he knows a lot about these movies. Our first question is obviously going to be, what would we rate the movies, and what are our thoughts on the movies? So, what would you rate the movies on a scale of 1 to 10? And what are your thoughts on them?
Oh man. Okay. Into the Spider-Verse. 10 out of 10. I think it was such a perfectly done superhero origin story with like a really fresh take on it. The art style, the cinematics, just everything was beyond expectations, and it kind of shattered a lot of boundaries in like the animation uh not genre, but the animation industry, I guess.
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse, I would love to say 10 out of 10. I want to say 10 out of 10 for like the soundtrack, the visuals, the art direction, the creative direction, but I want to give it a 9 out of 10 just because the plot is set up and it needs its closure, and it didn't really have that closure
Yeah.
on Across the Spider-Verse. But if Beyond the Spider-Verse pays it off in a good way, if it like wraps up all of its loose ends nicely, then it would be a 10 out of 10. But for now, I'm keeping it a 9 out of 10. 9.9 out of 10. We'll put it
Yeah,
that way, 'cause
absolutely.
I love that movie.
Okay, what are your thoughts, Sam?
Okay, so I think uh Into the Spider-Verse is the first one, right?
Yeah.
I think Into the Spider-Verse is a solid 8 out of 10.
Really?
But I think
Okay.
Across the Spider-Verse is a perfect 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, especially because other than like Endgame, I can't think of any other movies I've rated 10 out of 10. So
I swear you've rated something else 10 out of 10. Maybe it was just TV shows.
it might have been John Wick.
That, yeah.
I
John
really-
Wick 2, I think you, yeah.
Yeah, John Wick. There's very few things that I think are like perfect cinematically, but when they are perfect, it's like heavenly.
That's true. That's true. I'd have to give the first one probably a 9 out of 10. It was pretty good. I mean, I'd watch it again, but I wouldn't, that's not be the first movie I choose. But the second one, I have to give like a 5 out of 10. I didn't like it at all. It didn't give me the closure at the end. The only good part were the scenes with 2099. I mean, the animation was good, but that's about it.
Hmm.
So what you're saying is, you don't apply the Infinity War ideology to Across the Spider-Verse.
No,
Why not?
because Across the Spider-Verse, it it just didn't have as good of scenes as I would like. There was just a lot of world building. They didn't do that in Infinity War. Like, because they had to build up the second movie, they didn't. I mean, in Across the Spider-Verse, because they had to build up the second movie, they had to do a lot of world building, introduce new characters, all that, and there wasn't really a lot. Like, I would say, I'm actually going to transfer in the next question here. One of your questions is, what's the best scenes in the movie? I don't know which question that is on the list. Um, But I would say for the second movie, my favorite scene is the first one where Gwen is fighting Paper Vulture, and then 2099 comes in, and it's like,
When that happened, I died.
Man.
That
is,
fell
like,
over laughing.
My favorite character introduction ever.
I agree.
It's so like I knew the soundtrack was going to be good going into the movie. I didn't have a lot of expectations. I didn't see a lot of the trailers, so I wasn't really sure what to expect from the sequel. But as soon as that happened and that synth riff came in, I was like, this is going to be a banger of a movie.
Yes.
And nothing can stop it.
Right.
So Sam, what was your favorite scene in the movie or in Across the Spider-Verse?
My favorite scene, in Across the Spider-Verse, was probably when Miles broke out of the like barrier thing when he was in Spider Headquarters.
I don't remember that scene. Am I-
2099 put him in a little box, and all
Oh,
the
and he starts
Spider-Man.
running.
Yeah, and he uses the palm to.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
I like that scene a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the scene after it, I think, was better, but
Okay, well,
The chase scene.
yes.
the chase scene was pretty good. So yeah. Anyway, next question. I'm gonna be honest. I have a little bit of a hard time reading Josh's handwriting, but let's just assume this is the second question in the order. What is your favorite movie between the two?
The first one, easy.
I'd go with the second one, even though I rated the first one a little bit higher. The second one, it just blew away my expectations. It's my favorite animated movie of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
It really okay, it hit me at a time where like I was like starting a bunch of projects and again I was going in with no expectations. So I came out of that movie like I could do literally anything.
Yeah, true.
So it hit me at a perfect time and it was just a stunning. It's my favorite animated movie of all time. Like it cemented its place up there.
Yeah.
So definitely the second one. I just need to see closure from the third, but yeah.
I think you might like the third better just because of the closure.
hmm
Or maybe it just
Yeah.
has that Infinity War Endgame effect where it's like some people like Endgame
Yeah.
better, some people like Infinity War better.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I love world building. I love exposition. So I think that's what captured a lot of like what may have been more of a negative aspect of yours, where it's like the plot isn't moving forward, but it's more setting up all the pieces. I
Yeah.
love like reading a book and kind of like imagining all the places and the characters, and so that was like really exciting for me to see.
Yeah, yeah.
I think my favorite movie sort of goes in line with the rating. I think it's the second one, personally. Although I'm expecting the third one to cement itself as the top, which makes sense just
Yeah.
because of the way the world is and
Have anything to do with that.
the way the trilogy is set up. I think the third one's really gonna be like an end game
Yeah.
and not like
It's got-
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, it's got the Endgame effect.
hmm
Well, Iron Man 3 was subjectively better than the second one.
Okay, we have varying opinions on that, but
I like the second one better, but I think a lot of other people like the third one better.
the second one is obviously the best of.
Honestly, it's been so long since I've seen either. I don't recall.
Okay, let's
What was this? The second one? The second one was Whiplash, right? And the
Yeah.
third one was
Yeah.
Extremis.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the second one a little bit better.
Yeah,
Like-
I grew up with it more almost.
Really?
I liked watching it better as a kid.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's easier to watch, especially as a Christian.
Yeah, I think the third one is a little
I
bit
guess,
more.
yeah.
The third one is a little bit more tense on the plot. So maybe it was
Yeah.
like being younger. The second one was a little bit more fun.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. So what's the next question?
Next question, 3. Who's your favorite character from I guess each movie? But since the characters bleed over, I guess who's your favorite character?
Well, there's different characters between each movie. The first one, poof. The first one probably just be Miles. The second one is gonna be 2099 probably.
Really
Yeah.
interesting choices.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite character from the first movie was Peter B.
No way. No way.
No,
mean,
I get that.
Either him or Porker.
No.
And from
Porker.
the second movie, it'd probably have to be I can't remember his name. The punk Spider-Man.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
No, he was
Yeah.
he was my favorite. Yes.
He was probably my favorite from the second movie.
Yes.
Hobie was great.
Yeah, I agree.
I liked how they played him off. They like early on in the movie, it felt like he was gonna be the cooler guy or the guy that the main character is always gonna be jealous of. But by the end of the movie, he kind of has obviously he's super chaotic and like hypocritical in his own statements, but it's so funny that way.
Yes.
But he almost becomes like this little like big brother or like somewhat mentor to Miles in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was a really cool dynamic shift. I like that.
Yeah.
Bro,
That was
chaotic, bro.
like the guy talking about politics, right?
Who was
Yeah.
Yeah.
politics? Oh yeah, no, Hobie was talking about politics. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one scene where he's
What?
like, the baby's an anarchist.
Taking crap on the establishment.
Yeah.
He's so inconsistent, but that's what makes his dialogue so funny.
True. That's
Bro is chaotic neutral.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably
Yeah.
got some of the best lines in the movie as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I guess from the first movie, honestly, I'm kind of with you, Sam. Like, Peter V was great. It was cool seeing, like, I don't know, like a Spider-Man that kind of like grew up and lost his touch, but in the movie kind of got it back. Like, he felt like
isn't that just Spider-Man?
a real, a good depiction of like a real maturity of a Spider-Man who's kind of like lost it, but then he gets
Yeah.
it back in the end. For the second movie, hands down, 2099. I really liked what they did with his character. Like in the I don't know if you guys have ever seen or played the old Spider-Verse video games, like Shattered Dimensions or Edge of Time, I believe it's called.
Unfortunately, not.
I didn't.
He kind of has like a similar stance on. I haven't played them either, but I've like kind of looked over their plots and I've like seen articles and videos on them. And he kind of has like this similar stance on the multiverse and kind of saving everybody over saving the one. So that was a cool translation into his character into the movie. And I liked the kind of like vague backstory that they gave him, something that kind of sets up again more in the third movie to see if it pays off. But he was a fun character to have around because he's so different to the other Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And plus, like, he's got the whole sci-fi aesthetic. He's got like the laser webs and the giant talons. Oh my gosh, the talons.
Oh yes.
His character design is so
Black Panther
cool, but
claws.
specifically, I love the giant blades. I love like the exaggerated kind of sharpness of the whole Earth 928, like the
Yeah.
whole sci-fi sharpness, edges, all these like contrasting lines. So that carried into a singular character design was super cool to see.
Yeah.
So I think he's my favorite. He kind of like nailed it as like, ooh, we got a cool sci-fi,
Yeah.
darker Spider-Man, which is
Yeah.
really cool to see.
Yeah. And the 2099 stands for the Earth he's from, right?
No, that is
Yeah,
the
so
year he is
it's
from.
like
Oh. It's from
it's
the year he's from. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know there's 2099 Captain America and like all them,
Yeah.
and I just
So
I'm just like, how does that make
basically,
sense?
I-
if
So
they're
it's supposed to be like a possible future of the 616 universe.
Oh,
But in the Spider-Verse movie, they gave it the name Earth 928 to just make it its own universe. But like in the more mainstream 2099, it's supposed to be a possible future
yeah.
of 616. So you got the descendants of the heroes, and it's like the age of heroes was a thing of a past, like a legend kind of. sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. One thing I think Lumenux is partly right. 2099 was a great character. Although one thing I'm not sure if I like they did with his character is when he's fighting Paper Vulture, where he tries to like suck his blood with the fangs.
Yeah, they did that, and they just
okay.
never went off it
That
in the
was a little
movie.
weird.
Okay, so
Only
He's
one
got
time.
fangs, but
In the
he doesn't-
comics, he's in the comics, he's a
He's
geneticist,
Lumenux.
right? And he's working for Alchemax trying to replicate Spider-Man's powers. Something goes wrong. He gets drugged actually, and he tries to reset his DNA, but like a jealous coworker comes, and I'm really oversimplifying this, but a jealous coworker comes and like messes with the system as he's trying to reset his DNA. It mixes his DNA with half spider. So instead of like the normal Spider-Man powers, he gets fangs, he gets talons, he gets like the more vampire-y stuff, but it's not like a vampire like sucking blood. It's venom. It's like a paralyzing venom. So it's not just straight up vampire. It's like he's half spider, half man in the more literal sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find it funny him just trying to bite people.
Die. Numb.
Yeah, so it was more of like a it's a paralyzing venom. It's not like lethal or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm making such a big point on this fictional aspect of a fictional character, but I think that's where a lot of people are like, oh, vampire, that's too strange. But it's like there's an explanation for it at least.
Yeah.
Bro said nom nom. Anyway, moving on. If you could be any of the Spider-Men, who would you be? And this is like
Miles.
Fully you are the character, even though you right now might know their story and how it ends. Right, so like you could choose to be main 616 Parker, even though Gwen dies and he has to erase his marriage with Mary Jane, and Aunt May dies.
And why would you?
It's just an example.
Miles.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The movie Miles or the Ultimate Universe Miles?
The movie. We're talking about the movie.
I mean, yeah, but you said miles, so you need to be more specific.
Fine, kilometers.
Okay, you know what? No.
Probably Miles. Again, what's yours, Lumenux?
I think I would have to go with 2099. Like, yeah, he's got more of a tragic backstory, but I think that would be my decision. Like, I would love living in that high-tech world, and
I could see
that
you as
whole
him.
yeah, it'd be really fun. Well, not fun, but you know what I mean. Like, that's
Yeah.
my choice.
You kind of look like him.
Debatable.
I don't know about that. I'm probably choosing. This is gonna be a really weird choice.
If you choose Porker, I'm gonna be so mad.
No.
He's gonna choose Gwen.
Okay, I'm not. No. The Earth 1999 Spider-Man.
Tom Holland Spider.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Listen, I just like the way his suit looks.
Yeah, no, that's
Like,
valid.
Which one though?
What do you mean? Which one? There's only
Like
one.
the suit at the end of No Way Home, or the Iron
Oh.
Spider suit, or what?
I mean, I like Iron Spider, but I also like the black suit from I think it's No Way Home.
Oh, the Night Monkey suit.
No, not
The-
that one. The red and black one.
Oh, that one.
After
Okay,
his-
yeah. No,
yeah.
that I like that too.
Yeah. It's sort of a dumb reason for why I'm choosing him, but
Well, I mean, if we're going with the whole like you're choosing your character and you kind of have to like follow their story, then you kind of have an advantage. You're like working under Tony Stark. You're like
well,
you've
not
got the
anymore.
whole like. Well, not anymore, but I mean like you don't have
GG.
as tragic as a backstory as like all the other Spider-Man.
He hasn't had a million people close to him die
Yeah.
That's true. Well,
yet.
I mean, Aunt May died. His parents died.
Tony died,
Tony died.
and all of his friends forgot about it.
Well, okay.
Oh, he has nobody. He doesn't even exist anymore to anybody.
Except maybe Hulk, but
Maybe I should retract my previous statement.
anyway,
I forgot about maybe Hulk. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
we really should do an MCU episode.
Yeah, we should probably do an MCU episode. Anyway, okay.
Going down.
Next question.
Favorite song from each movie soundtrack.
Each one, Annihilate from the second one. From the first one, I almost said Dynasties in Dystopia. That's not.
That's not.
That's not the. That's not the song. Let me actually pull it up here.
Opening Spotify might be good. Yeah. Okay. I think while you're looking, I'll give my answers. So my favorite songs from each soundtrack is probably Am I Dreaming from the second one. And
Okay.
from the first one, it's Elevate.
I hate that one.
Oh.
Why?
Okay.
It's so like annoying. At least to me.
Okay,
What are yours,
well,
Lumenux?
Man, for the second one, debatable. It's between Am I Dreaming and Annihilate. I love both of them. Annihilate's pretty good though. Annihilate might take my pick as the favorite. for the
Yeah.
second one. For the first one, man, I don't want to be cliche, but I love Sunflower.
Okay,
Such a good
okay.
song.
All
that's-
No,
right.
that's a
okay.
fair
That
choice.
okay. I personally I feel like the Into the Spider-Verse like soundtrack, like the real songs, I think they're overall kind of better than the Across the Spider-Verse ones. So it's like
Yeah.
hard to pick a favorite,
That's
but
true.
like What's Up Danger and Sunflower were like perfect for the
fantastic.
movie. And not to be cliche, but I think those two are my favorites. Sunflower a little bit more just because I like the more chill out vibe, but What's
Yeah.
Up Danger is such a good song.
Yeah, that's true. I would have to say for the first album, my favorite's definitely Start a Riot.
Yes.
I just love
Oh,
the
that's the fun one.
I love the upbeat songs.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got to be my favorite. Also, it also stuck with me for a while because when I used to play Fortnite, it matched the Orange Justice stance so perfectly.
It did.
Yes, it did.
You
And
serious?
to anybody listening to the podcast, you need to look up the Orange Justice stance, play Start a Riot, and it fits so perfectly.
Back in
No
the olden
way.
days.
I'll show you Lumenux afterwards.
Okay. That's hilarious.
You know, Fortnite has influenced our lives so much.
Dude, it's
We
so
listen
true.
to God's plan because of Fortnite.
We listened to God's Plan because of Fortnite. I met you because of Fortnite.
It's scary. how
Or
much
the first time we
Fortnite-
met was on Fortnite, I should say.
It's scary how much
That's
Fortnite's
crazy.
influenced our lives.
Wow.
Really is.
Okay, so the next question is sort of needs a little bit of a preface. I know technically the question is what villain should be in the third movie. I know technically Spot is going to be in the third movie as like the main villain. But like there's other like side villains that have been in the movies before, like Paper Vulture and Liv and I want to say Rhino, but I don't think Rhino was in any of the movies.
Prowler.
Oh yeah,
Tombstone.
and Prowler. Oh, and Tombstone.
Well, in the third movie, we're also going to have Miles Prowler.
Oh yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
true.
Yeah,
I feel like he might be more of like the anti-hero trope. I don't think
Yeah.
he'll be a villain.
probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be really cool to see Electro. To be like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
to see like Miles and Electro, like, you know, because they
Yeah.
both have electricity power. So Miles would be like,
That's a cool
what is
synergy.
with that? Why do you have my power? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. So then, would Miles be able to absorb Electro?
Well, no, because
Or would Electro absorb Miles'
Electro would absorb Miles' shock because Miles doesn't. He doesn't take in energy. He creates his own energy.
But he can take an energy in the movie.
He does do that. Okay, dang it.
Interesting. Okay, that's a good one.
But I think
Or
he
would
can
he
only
just-
take up so much, right? I think
Theoretically.
Electro would be able to take up more because he's pure energy.
Yeah.
So,
Or would they just cancel each other out and there'd be no electric?
well, if they both shoot a beam at each other, like say they shoot something at each other, it would just cancel out. It would just create an explosion, most likely in the movie.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I hope in the third movie, as like just a small time villain, we get Chameleon,
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay.
which it's probably a bit of an underdog choice because I don't think Chameleon has actually been in any live action movies.
No, but like Spot was an underdog choice, and see
Oh,
how
yeah,
well they
that's
played
true.
him out. Like they
yeah.
could do good things with Chameleon.
That's true.
Yeah. So, fun fact: Chameleon's actually related to Kraven the Hunter.
Well,
Really?
maybe we'll get to
Yeah.
see him in the new Kraven the Hunter movie.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. We need to do a podcast episode. of that,
We
too.
absolutely do.
Anyway,
Huh.
yeah. So, and Kraven the Hunter could be in the next movie too. That would be cool.
Yeah. No, but it would actually be cool to see Kraven the Hunter because he could be like a accomplice to Spot because he wants to hunt the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So if the Spider-Man are hunting Spot, then there's somebody hunting the Spider-Man as well. So as like a sort of
So basically, the original Spider-Verse plot.
yes.
Okay. Original Spider-Verse plot it is then.
Did you give an answer, Lumenux?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
I always thought it'd be kind of a cool. The movie's only been out for a few months. I thought it would be a cool idea if, like from the kind of chaos of like Spot's portals and like the black ink, we kind of get a different version of Venom. That's like this sentient version of like that multiversal chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, almost like a Carnage Venom, but
Oh.
born from like Spot's portals and like
Blackness.
multiversal collisions.
So instead of Spot, it would be Hole.
Okay.
But I guess, or just like that's the Spider-Verse's way of like introducing Venom, like kind of
Yeah.
instead of like doing the whole like symbiote from outer space or something like that. It's more of a within. It's already kind of tied to the plot. Spot's
Yeah.
portals are doing their own thing, and it's
Yeah.
like as a secondary threat, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be neat. But so yeah, I'd say Venom. Venom would be a cool side villain to have.
I
Who's still
agree.
kind of like big, and we haven't seen him yet in
Yeah.
the Spider-Verse series.
Yeah, yeah.
Good question. If you could have one spider powers, who would you pick?
Miles.
Like one Spider-Man's powers, I guess.
Miles.
Really?
I could go invisible.
That's true.
And I could shock people.
Okay.
And I have the abilities of spiders.
Wait, what?
And I have Spider-Man's abilities, I meant to say.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Does Noir's powers include the rain following him around?
Yes.
The rain and the wind
Right.
following him around.
Absolutely.
I just thought about. You know what? I totally forgot about Noir. Like, he's such a cool character in the first movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, Peter B was my favorite in the first movie because of character development, but
Mhm.
I love Noir in the first movie. Man, out of one spider's powers though, I don't want to say 2099 again, but I like his mix of the
I mean, you
Spider-Man
can.
powers. Like
Yeah.
the claws and the more like climby stuff is cool rather than just
Yeah.
the swingy stuff. Because like if
The
you're
swingy
Spider-Man,
stuff.
you can always build the web shooters. But I think the more in-tuned like climbing and kind of parkour aspect, even though all Spider-Man kind of have that, 2099's more
Yeah.
specifically that like hanging on to stuff and grappling and I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a cool take on it. So I like that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So technically, the Spider-Man was in the movie, but he wasn't like featured in the main movie. It is the Scarlet Spider's powers,
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
which so basically, and for all the people who don't know, the only thing that differs him from regular Spider-Man is he has a giant fang that comes out of his forearm.
Yeah, the wrist thing. It's like a Wolverine, but it's like on the wrist and it's just one.
Bro, I was playing Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Actually, that's very cool.
Yeah. I think that would be interesting, especially for stabbing people if I need to.
Doesn't he kill people?
I think Scarlet Spider. I think he's sort of like Jason Todd in that sense.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure he's actually a clone. So, yeah.
No, he's like a failed clone using Spider-Man's DNA, or not a failed clone, but a like test. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doc Ock to the rescue. All right.
Doc Croc.
Dr. Crocs.
he's got 8 Crocs. He wears all the time.
No,
One for each
he's got a
arm.
crock pot for a helmet.
He's the villain to everybody who hates crock pots.
Actually, in Peter Porker's universe, Doctor Octopus is an actual octopus.
That's funny.
Yeah, and Rhino is a rhino.
I never could have guessed that.
Really?
I had no idea.
Okay, well,
That's crazy.
makes
That
sense.
rhino would be a rhino? I thought it would have been a jellyfish.
On to the daily question.
Okay.
This is gonna take a little bit longer.
Yes, sir.
just because it's very complex, but what best battle you've read, watched, and why?
Lumenux?
I'm sorry, I could like only kind of have here what he said.
So the daily question is, what is the best battle that you have read / watched and why?
Wow, I was not prepared for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, what is the best like out of fiction?
Out of
Everything.
everything.
Anything. So actually, if you want to think about it, Sam already has his
Oh
answer.
gosh.
Yeah, so
Okay,
basically-
yeah. Let me think about this.
Basically, I get these from a Discord server, so I answered in the server already. So I'll just read what I wrote. one of my favorite fights is the Ahsoka versus Maul fight at the end of the Clone Wars. Just because the fluidity, the CGI, the mocap, the weight
You're
it
so
has,
right. You're so right.
everything, it just looks amazing. And then probably my other choice would be Omni-Man versus Invincible at the end of the series.
That's true.
Just because the weight and in Omni-Man just basically breaking down at the end of the fight and just leaving because he can't deal with his emotions.
Yeah.
And all the things like that, the
Mhm.
voice acting, everything, just great.
Yeah. Okay, I have two answers. Two
Do yours,
answers.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so
Still need to
excited.
think.
Okay, so my I don't know which one's first, but I know these are two of my favorite scenes that I love to rewatch. One is the first scene when Captain America and Winter Soldier are fighting. So it's when Black Widow gets shot by Winter Soldier, and then Captain America comes running in, and like that,
Ooh.
and he Winter Soldier punches the shield. It's that scene.
Honestly,
That is
Yeah.
the best hand combat scene in the entirety of MCU, hands down.
That's such a good movie.
You can't tell me otherwise. It is such a good fight scene.
yeah.
Oh man.
Because there's even in the thing, the music represents when Captain America literally switches his fighting style. He goes from
Really?
attacking to then
Yeah.
like half attacking, defending, and then fully
Yeah.
like trying to save his butt, like save his life at the
Save
end.
his butt.
And my first, I think this one takes the cake.
No.
Is Anakin versus Obi-Wan on
Who could've
Mustafar.
seen it coming?
It
I
is
knew you were gonna say this.
so good. You can't tell me it's not. The music, the weight of it, the
Yeah.
memes,
The
everything.
memes.
Oh,
The fight, just everything about it
Sitting
is
here-
just the best.
sitting here thinking, I've actually got two more answers. But if you're still thinking Lumenux, I can answer. But if not, are you still thinking?
Are you still
I'm sorry, were you talking
Are
to me?
you still thinking?
Yeah. Sorry.
Man, yeah, I'm still thinking. It's hard to narrow it down. I was not prepared for this question.
Okay.
It's fine. He
Um,
has two more answers.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
why don't you keep going? I will say the Ahsoka versus Maul scene is one of the best like animated choreographed fight scenes I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Say your other answers though, because I need a little bit more time.
okay. So one of these is from a comic, and the other is actually an MCU movie. I think one of the best live action fight scenes I've seen was Killmonger versus T'Challa at the waterfall.
Oh, that's true.
Because that
Was good. That was really good.
Killmonger sort of just undermines T'Challa as king, and no one expects it. And then when he wins, everyone's just shocked. Like they all have their jaws dropped, and
Yeah.
it's like,
There's a lot of weight to that one too.
yeah, right. Because if T'Challa loses, well, then your whole country's screwed over.
See ya.
Yeah. And the second is actually it's from a comic. It's from the original Infinity Gauntlet story. It's when all the
Oh.
Avengers tried to fight Thanos with the Infinity Stones.
Oh.
It just shows how overpowered Thanos was. He was
Uh-huh.
turning people into stone. He was making people age to like 80. Literally, he summoned himself. He summoned all of the cosmic entities. he became equal with the living
Comics were
tribunal.
unhinged.
Bro.
Yeah, and
Wait.
this was like in the 90s before everything
If
popped off.
If he has the Reality Stone, couldn't he just recreate like 50 of himself with all Infinity Stones?
Technically, I think so, but well, actually, I'm not sure because the way the Infinity Stones work is they're embodiments of all their elements, so it wouldn't really work having multiple.
I guess, but he could create like just a million of him. Just
A million
imagine that.
Thanos'
Just a
beating the crap
million
out of
Thanos versus the Avengers.
Yeah, the weight of that fight and just Thanos being so broken is hilarious.
Yeah.
Literally, Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer had trouble taking him down. And Silver Surfer has infinite energy at his use. Yeah.
Okay.
What animated shows have I watched?
I completely forgot about Echo versus Jinx.
Oh my gosh!
That is one of the best fight scenes ever.
Dude, okay. So one of the best fight scenes as well is Echo versus Jinx in Arcane. I think that has to
Oh,
be my favorite animated fight scene,
One of
just
the best,
because
period.
it shows that they were friends as kids. It later sets up Echo's time traveling abilities.
Yeah.
It shows that they actually like. I think there was a love between them as a young age, and then now it's like it shows the past and then transfers into the future and how they're like, because they used to always fight in the past as a joke, and now they're doing it the exact same way in the fight, and it's just so perfect, and the music too. Oh my gosh.
that's cool.
Anyway, you have your thing now.
I do. I don't know if they're lame answers, but
Nothing's lame
out
here.
of just like kind of replaying movies and just things in my head, one of the most like creative fight scenes, or I guess it's sort of a fight scene in a way, is in Tenet.
Ooh.
In Tenet, the airport scene where
Yes.
they're going into the vault, and at the beginning of the movie, you have no idea what's going on, but you're fighting these soldiers that are traveling not they're not traveling um back in time, they're traveling backwards in time.
Yeah.
So the whole like it throws you for a loop the first time you watch it because you're like, what am I seeing?
Mhm.
What is going on? And then the whole payoff of, I guess, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Tenet, but the whole payoff at the end of the movie where it's themselves fighting themselves in
Yeah.
reverse,
Yeah.
and the only way they're surviving is because they've done it before on the
Mhm.
other side.
Yeah.
I thought that was such a mind blowing and such a cool, such a well done fight scene. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Um, I guess another one that like one of my probably my all-time favorite movie, Tron Legacy. The whole battle scene starting from the arena and ending with the light cycle battle, it's so fluid. It's so not alien, but like you're
Yeah.
watching Sam Flynn, the main character, completely out of his league in this digitized environment with the flying discs, and then
Mhm.
eventually it climaxes with the light cycle battle, and that whole scene is just it's so the
Yeah.
music, the cinematography of it, it's so fluid. Everything it feels so um liquid. The movements of the discs and the bikes, first being like a digital world, but having fights and battles that are so almost karate style, but not. I just love that whole sequence. I love that whole movie. That's like my favorite movie.
Yeah.
But um, I think if I had more time, I would come up with a better answer. But
No, those weren't bad
those two
answers.
are. I
Every
think those are
answer
two
was a good
battles that
answer.
like really stick out to me as like, ooh, that's good filmmaking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, last answer before we go here. I think one of the best fight scenes is again, it's from a Marvel movie. It's when it's Thanos versus the guys on Titan in Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
That fight
Ooh.
scene is so good because you just like it's just them versus him, and you actually see the Infinity Stones being used. He used every single one in the movie, and every single one that he had
Effectively.
on Titan he used.
And even though
Yeah.
it's more grounded as like it's a live action movie, they can't do as crazy stuff in the comics. It still
They definitely
feels
shouldn't.
very uh tense. There's a weight
Yeah,
to the scene. And even the story of Star-Lord kind of losing his grip with Thanos and Gamora, it's so
Punching him.
like it pulls you in every
yeah.
time.
It's
It
like
pulls
no,
me in every time I watch it.
don't do it,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Or
Um,
the oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think also one thing from that fight is it just shows how crazy strong Thanos is because it takes like 8 of them just to make his
Mhm.
lip bleed.
All that for a drop of blood.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, you were saying?
Oh, I was gonna go back to, I guess this comes back full circle. Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, their choreography in that whole Titan scene
Yeah.
of the portals and the
yes.
webs, and
Yes.
I love it whenever that happens.
Yeah.
The what does he say? He's like
Is,
magic, magic with
is
the kick, magic with the flip. Like
yes.
that's so much fun to watch,
And
and it's
Thanos grabs him. Insect.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite moments from Infinity War. Is great. It's fabulous
It
movie,
is
but
It
I
is.
think
my
that's one of my favorite moments right there.
second favorite Marvel movie. We're not gonna get into some favorite Marvel movies,
Yeah,
but
we
we
really
will
need-
when we do
We really need an
MCU,
MCU episode.
which
Yeah,
I'm so
okay.
excited for.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I think that was pretty good.
that was all the questions we have for today.
That was fun.
Yeah, thank you, Lumenux, for joining. We really appreciated your presence.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, your
Something a little bit like out of my comfort zone. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Thank you guys for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe and let us know any of your thoughts in the comments on any of the questions asked in the video or just what you think of the podcast. And if you're on Spotify, don't forget to download and don't forget to comment on the Q&A. There should be a question there that you can comment on. So thank you guys for listening. Peace out.
Adios.
Bye.